She said she was at her mom's house. I drove there with flowers to surprise her. Her mom opened the door, confused. She hadn't seen her in weeks, so I followed the location she sent me instead. I'm Marcus, 29, and until 3 weeks ago, I thought I had my life figured out. Good job in IT consulting, decent apartment in the city, and a girlfriend of 2 years named Jenna who I was planning to propose to next month. I'd already bought the ring, a princess cut diamond she'd pointed out 6 months ago when we walked past a jewelry store. Cost me 3 months' salary, but I didn't care. She was worth it, or so I thought. Jenna worked as a social media manager for a marketing firm downtown. Her hours were weird sometimes, late nights, weekend campaigns, client dinners. I never questioned it because I trusted her. That's the thing about trust, right? Once you give it completely, you stop looking for red flags. You just accept everything at face value. 3 Thursdays ago, she texted me around 7 p.m. saying she was going to spend the night at her mom's place in the suburbs. Her mom had been feeling lonely lately, she said, and wanted company. Jenna did this maybe once a month, so it wasn't unusual. I told her to drive safe and that I loved her. She sent back a heart emoji and said she'd see me Friday evening. Friday morning, I woke up with this idea. I'd surprise her, buy her favorite flowers, white lilies, and show up at her mom's house with coffee and bagels for both of them. Sweet, right? Thoughtful boyfriend points. Maybe it'd even impress her mom enough to help when I eventually asked for her blessing. I left work early, stopped at the florist, grabbed the bagels and 2 vanilla lattes, and drove 40 minutes to her mom's house in Riverside. The whole drive I'm thinking about how happy she'll be, how surprised. I pulled up around 4 p.m. The house looked quiet. Her car wasn't in the driveway, but I figured maybe she'd parked in the garage or ran an errand. I walked up with the flowers and knocked. Her mom, Patricia, opened the door. Nice woman, always liked me, but the look on her face wasn't welcoming. It was confused. Marcus? What are you doing here? Hey, Patricia. I wanted to surprise Jenna. Brought you both some coffee and... Jenna? Honey, Jenna's not here. I laughed. Oh, did she run out? I can wait. Patricia's face changed. Marcus, I haven't seen Jenna in almost 3 weeks. Not since that Sunday dinner. The flowers suddenly felt heavy in my hand. What do you mean? She told me she was staying here last night. She said you were feeling lonely and... I never said that. I didn't even talk to her yesterday. My stomach dropped, just completely bottomed out. Patricia must have seen it on my face because she invited me in, sat me down at the kitchen table, and made me actually drink the coffee I'd brought for Jenna. Maybe there's a mix-up, Patricia said, but her voice wasn't convincing. Maybe she meant a friend's house and said mine by mistake? I pulled out my phone, opened our text thread, scrolled back through weeks of messages. There were at least 5 other nights in the past 2 months where she'd said she was staying at her mom's. 5 nights Patricia apparently knew nothing about. Does she have a friend named Sarah or Emma she stays with sometimes? I asked. Patricia shook her head. Not that I know of. I felt nauseous. Patricia excused herself, said she needed to make a call. I sat there staring at my phone. Then I remembered Jenna had location sharing turned on. We'd set it up last year after she got a flat tire on a highway at night and I couldn't find her. It was supposed to be for safety. I'd honestly forgotten it was still active. I opened Find My Friends. Her little icon was sitting at an address 20 minutes away. Not her mom's house. Not our apartment. Some random residential street I didn't recognize. I screenshotted it. Told Patricia I had to go. She hugged me, told me to call her later, and I could see the worry in her eyes. She knew. Mothers always know. I got in my car and just sat there for 10 minutes, hands shaking. Part of me wanted to drive home, crawl into bed, and pretend this wasn't happening. But the other part, the part that was already grieving the relationship, needed to know. Needed proof. Needed to see it with my own eyes. So I put the address into Google Maps and drove. Update 1. The address led me to a quiet street lined with townhouses. Nice area. Better than where Jenna and I lived. Her car was parked in the driveway of Unit 47. I pulled over 2 houses down and just watched. It was 5:30 p.m. Golden hour. Everything looked perfect and suburban and normal. I didn't know what I was expecting. A neon sign that said, cheater inside? I sat there for an hour. My phone kept buzzing. Text from work, a missed call from my buddy Chris, but I ignored everything. I was in this weird tunnel vision mode where nothing else existed except that front door. At 6:45, the door opened. Jenna walked out, but she wasn't alone. A guy came out behind her. Tall, dark hair, well-dressed. He was laughing at something she'd said. She turned around, stood on her tiptoes and kissed him. Not a peck. A full kiss. The kind she used to give me. Then she got in her car and drove off. He waved from the doorway and went back inside. Couldn't breathe. Literally felt like someone had punched through my chest and ripped my lungs out. I don't remember making the decision to get out of my car, but suddenly I was walking up to Unit 47. I knocked. Hard. The guy opened the door, still smiling. "Forget something, babe." He stopped when he saw me. "Who are you?" I asked. My voice sounded calm. Too calm. Who are you?" "Marcus. Jenna's boyfriend. The one she's been living with for 2 years. The one who just spent an hour watching her kiss you goodbye." His face went white. "Boyfriend?" She said she was single. She said, "Where does she tell you she goes when she's not here?" He stared at me. "Work trips. Client meetings. She said she travels a lot for her job." I laughed. Actually laughed. It sounded insane. "And when she stays over? How often?" 2, maybe 3 times a week. 2 to 3 times a week. The nights she said she was working late. The weekends she said she had campaigns to finish. The overnight business trips to Philadelphia. "How long?" I asked. "For months." For months. A third of the time I'd been saving for that ring. "Listen, man, I didn't know," he said. And he actually looked genuine. "I swear to God. I had no idea she was—" "What's your name?" "Devin." "Devin, I'm going to ask you something, and I need you to be honest. Has she ever left anything here? Clothes? Toiletries? Anything?" He nodded slowly. "Yeah, she has a drawer. Some stuff in the bathroom." "Show me." I don't know what possessed me to go inside this stranger's house, but he stepped back and let me in. The place was nice. Modern furniture, clean, clearly someone with money. He led me upstairs to the bedroom. In the closet, there was a section with Jenna's clothes. Dresses I'd seen her wear. Her favorite jeans. In the bathroom, her shampoo, her makeup bag, her toothbrush. She'd built a second life. Devin looked as sick as I felt. "I'm sorry, man. I really didn't." "I believe you," I said. And I did. He was collateral damage, just like me. I took photos of everything. I don't know why. Evidence? Proof for myself later that this actually happened? Then I left. I sat in my car and called Jenna. She answered on the 3rd ring. "Hey, babe. I was just about to head home. Want me to grab dinner?" "Where are you right now?" I asked. "Just leaving a coffee shop near my mom's." "Why?" "Which coffee shop?" Pause. The Starbucks on Main." "Jenna, I'm looking at your location right now. You're nowhere near Riverside." The silence that followed was so loud I could hear my own heartbeat. "Marcus, I know about Devin." She sucked in a breath. "Let me explain." "Don't. Just don't. I'm at the apartment. You have until tomorrow morning to get your stuff out. I'll be at Chris's. Don't call me. Don't text me. We're done." I hung up before she could respond. Update 2. I didn't sleep that night. Stayed at Chris's place, told him everything, and he let me drink half his whiskey while pacing his living room like a lunatic. He offered to go back to the apartment with me, make sure she actually left, but I told him I needed to do it alone. By the time I got home Saturday afternoon, her stuff was gone. Closet empty. Bathroom cleared out. She'd left the key on the kitchen counter with a note. "Marcus, I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. I was confused and made terrible choices. Please, can we talk? I love you. Jay." I ripped it up and threw it away. She called 17 times over the weekend. Left voicemails crying, begging, saying it was a mistake, that she'd end things with Devin, that she wanted to fix us. I blocked her number. What she didn't know was that I'd already called Devin Saturday morning. "Hey man," I'd said. "I need you to do something for me." We talked for 20 minutes. Turns out Devin was just as angry as I was. Maybe more, because he'd actually fallen for her. He'd been thinking about introducing her to his family. So we made a plan. Monday evening, Devin texted Jenna saying he wanted to meet up to talk. She agreed immediately. They met at a bar downtown Neutral Territory. I wasn't there, but Devin recorded the whole thing on his phone. Legal in our state. He told her he knew about me. She cried, apologized, said I was her past and Devin was her future, that she was planning to break up with me soon anyway. She begged him not to throw away what they had over one mistake. He recorded everything. Then he told her they were done, got up and left her sitting there. He sent me the recording that night. Update 3. Here's where I might have gone too far, depending on who you ask. Jenna's company had a big social media conference the following week. She was supposed to present a campaign case study in front of about 200 people, industry professionals, potential clients, her bosses. I had access to her work email. She'd logged in on my laptop months ago and never logged out. I know, invasion of privacy. But at that point, I was past caring. I found her presentation slides, downloaded them, then I created 3 new slides and inserted them right in the middle. Slide 1. Screenshots of her text to me saying she was at her mom's house. Slide 2. Screenshots of her texts to Devin on the same date saying she was on work trips. Slide 3. A photo I'd taken of her stuff at Devin's place with the caption, "Building a second life. One lie at a time." I didn't change anything else. Just added those 3 slides and re-uploaded the presentation to her shared drive. The conference was Thursday. Devin told me, we'd been texting updates to each other by this point, that she called him Wednesday night, hysterical, saying her presentation had been sabotaged. She knew it was me. She threatened to call the police. But she couldn't, could she? Because what was she going to report? That her ex-boyfriend exposed her cheating during a work presentation? That's not illegal. Petty? Absolutely. Satisfying? You have no idea. I heard from a mutual friend who was at the conference that Jenna didn't notice the slides until she was mid-presentation. She'd been talking about authentic brand engagement or something when suddenly there were her lies blown up on a screen behind her in front of everyone. She apparently froze, tried to skip forward, but the damage was done. People had phones out. Screenshots were taken. She ran off stage. She was fired the next day. Not because of the cheating, that's personal, but because the humiliation reflected poorly on the company, and she'd caused a scene at their biggest event of the year. Final update. It's been 3 weeks since everything imploded. Jenna moved back in with her mom. Patricia called me once to apologize on her daughter's behalf, which was unnecessary but appreciated. She said Jenna's been in therapy trying to figure out why she did what she did. Patricia also told me she was disappointed in her daughter and that she'd always liked me. That meant something. Devin and I got a beer last week. Weird situation, bonding with the other guy, but it made sense. We compared notes on all the lies she'd told both of us. Turns out she'd been planning a trip with him to Mexico the same weekend I was planning to propose. The overlap of her deception was almost impressive. He's dating again. Said he's taking it slow, being more careful. As for me, I returned the ring. Lost about 30% on the resale, but honestly, I didn't care. That money felt cursed. I'm still in the apartment. She's not on the lease anymore. I had the landlord remove her name, changed the locks, started going to the gym again, sleeping better. Some nights I still get angry, not at the cheating, really, but at the time. The 2 years I spent building something that was hollow. The plans I made that were built on lies. But mostly I feel relieved. Better to find out now than after a wedding. Better to find out before kids or a mortgage or any of the 1,000 things that make leaving harder. I didn't lose the love of my life. I dodged a lifetime of deception. Edit 1. Yes, the presentation thing was extreme. No, I don't regret it. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Edit 2. To everyone asking if Devin and I are best friends now, no. We're cordial. We text occasionally. But the foundation of our connection is trauma. And that's not exactly the basis for a lasting friendship. Edit 3. Jenna tried to reach out through a mutual friend last week asking if we could find closure. I told the friend to tell her we already did.